What victory felt like stealing candy from a baby who was already starving? It was a cold Tuesday morning when I noticed my biggest academic rival wasn't at the scholarship finalist meeting. My stomach tightened. I approached the conference room, where I was greeted by Mrs. Gallagher, who directed me to an empty seat where the other finalists were waiting. I quietly asked her where Mary was, but she said she couldn't share student information, just told me to focus on my own interview. When I sat down, I saw every other finalist looking just as confused as me, with two committee members and our principal, Mr. Davis, standing at the front. Mr. Davis waited for everyone to settle, then stood up, clearing his throat, and made the announcement. Turns out, Mary had withdrawn from the competition last minute due to personal circumstances. Whispers erupted instantly, some students looking relieved, and others exchanging knowing glances. One of the parents even started arguing that the deadline for withdrawal had passed. It took Mr. Davis a few minutes, but he got us all settled down and said the interviews would proceed as scheduled. They told us we would have our results in a week, then sent us to our classes and told us not to discuss the situation. I felt uneasy. Over the next few days, I tried finding Mary everywhere, her usual study spots, the cafeteria, even waited by her locker. Nothing. Her friends avoided my questions, teachers said they couldn't discuss it, and she wasn't responding to texts. Something was definitely wrong. A few days later, I finally spotted Mary at school. When I approached her, she was sitting alone in the library, surrounded by textbooks and what looked like work schedules. I asked her what happened, and at first she brushed me off, but then I saw an eviction notice sticking out of her backpack. She noticed me staring and her face went red. She grabbed it quickly, shoving it deeper into her bag. "It's nothing," she said, but her voice cracked. I sat down next to her and waited. Finally, she admitted she hadn't withdrawn voluntarily. She had to work and couldn't miss her shift for the interview. The diner would fire her if she missed another day. My heart sank. I looked at her notebooks, and that's when I realized how much I had missed. Coffee stains on every page, her handwriting getting sloppier in what must have been late-night study sessions. I felt sick. That night at dinner, my parents were still celebrating my guaranteed win. I tried telling them about Mary, how unfair it all was. They listened politely. Then my dad said those words that haunt me. "Life isn't always fair. You should be grateful for your opportunities." My mom added that I shouldn't feel guilty for the advantages I was given, but I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every privilege I'd taken for granted felt like a weight. The next morning, I tried talking to our guidance counselor about getting Mary back in the competition. She listened patiently, seemed sympathetic. She even called the scholarship committee while I waited. For a moment, it seemed like they might make an exception. I saw Mary later and told her there might be hope. Her eyes lit up for the first time in days. The committee said they would review her case. We spent that afternoon filling out forms, gathering documentation. She even managed to switch a shift to make a potential makeup interview. For 48 hours, we both believed the system might actually work. But then the email came. After careful consideration, the committee cannot reinstate candidates who missed their scheduled interviews. When I told Mary, she just nodded like she expected it. That's when she finally told me everything. It wasn't just one job. It was three: a diner, a grocery store, and weekend cleaning offices. Her mom had lost her job 6 months ago. Her dad left last year, and she was supporting two younger siblings. They were 2 months behind on rent. While I complained about SAT prep being boring, she was studying in break rooms. While I had tutors for every subject, she taught herself after midnight shifts, and despite everything, her grades matched mine. She showed me her phone, work schedules overlapping with every major test date, every project deadline. "I've been running on 3 hours of sleep since sophomore year," she said. The scholarship wasn't just for college. It was her family's last hope to avoid homelessness. Missing that interview meant losing everything, but showing up meant losing her job and not making rent. She had to choose between a chance at a future and keeping her family off the streets today. In the end, I won the scholarship money and tried to split it with her, but there were legal restrictions. So I started a fundraiser instead, but it raised barely enough for one semester. Mary and I lost touch after that, but she did reach out months later. She was working at a grocery store full-time, had managed to help her family avoid eviction, but college was now a distant dream. She thanked me for trying, but said, "I'm not the first talented student from my neighborhood to drop out of competitions like this, and I won't be the last. The system was never designed for kids like me. I went to college with that scholarship, graduated with honors, but I never felt like I earned any of it. Every achievement felt hollow because I knew Mary deserved to be there too."